So Norwalk Hospital's PA surgical residency program is one of the oldest in the country. It was founded in 1976, so we have a very long history of successful training of PAs. We also are a unique location in that we are one of the few, if not the only hospital in the area that runs their entire department of surgery with PAs only. We do not have surgical MD residents in the program, so we utilize both staff PAs, which are employees of the hospital, as well as our residents to run our pre- and post-operative care and do our intraoperative first assisting. So when you come here for training, you get a totally immersive experience in surgical care, and without having to compete with other trainees. So that makes our program truly unique.
We have a great learning center that's less than 2 years old. We've got some high-tech technology in those rooms. We have a sim center that's also less than 2 years old, that we have mannequins that we do some sim training on. We do all of our procedural techniques and practicing in our sim center. We have a laparoscopic trainer, so we can practice our laparoscopic skills on almost like a Nintendo Switch type device. We have an ultrasound trainer that we practice on mannequins, so we can learn to practice our fast exams, and we learn to do echoes and things like that. In the operating room, where we spend a lot of our time, we use a robot for a lot of our surgeries, so we make sure that our residents get certified in using the robot. We offer our biplane room, which we do a lot of endovascular cases for the neurosurgeons, so now we're holding on to cases that we wouldn't have maybe 6 months ago even.
Every day you're in the OR, you are treated like a medical resident here, right? So that was the reason why I chose this program. Every other program that I interviewed with pretty much said, you will be lucky to get into the operating room. And here, you're in there every day with the staff physician assistants, you're with the doctors, you're in the operating room, and you're treated like a staff. So you don't get that experience anywhere else, and that's why I chose this program.
For people who want to have a very intensive year, because it is an intensive year, it's not easy. There was that old slogan, I think, for the military that said it's the hardest job you'll ever love. Well, this is a very intense year, but it is so worth it, because if you're going to learn surgery, you have to really dive deep and get in. You have to learn what matters to patients. You have to learn what matters when you're in the operating room, how to have a successful procedure, how to get the patient through both emotionally as well as physically. And you get to learn all that here with real hands-on experience. And also during the year we have graduated responsibility for our trainees. So everybody starts out green, being nervous, they don't know what to do. There are staff PAs to instruct them. There are the surgeons who work with the teams, round with them, teach by doing. And we give our trainees graduated responsibility as the year goes on, so that in the first half of the year they're going up the curve of learning. In the second half of the year they get more autonomy and they can feel very personally responsible for patients.
We have an affiliation agreement with the Yale School of Medicine, so we send our residents there for about 2 weeks a year, where they go up to Yale and they do a cadaver lab. And they also do an animal surgery lab. So it's a pretty great experience that's very unique, I think, to almost any residency program in the country. And it also helps to have that Yale name on your certificate when you graduate.
You know, for young people, there's social life. There's a lot of new trendy restaurants. We have a beautiful seacoast if you like nature, if you like Long Island Sound. There's Sherwood Island State Park where you can go walking. There are plenty of trails, wood trails. And sure, in the beach, you can always go outside and watch a sunrise or a sunset. You can walk along the water and realize that those waves have been there eons before we were. And, I don't know, there's some sort of spiritual serenity about that. At least for me there is. So I do that often.
I'm going to be leaps and bounds ahead of my peers graduating from PE school, without a doubt. I think every program will say we're the best, but they won't really back it up, right? But I do believe this program is the best. It's the longest standing surgical PA residency. It's the only residency that you don't have any medical residents, so you're hands-on the entire time, right? The staff PAs really care, and you have a group of 11 other residents that are going through it with you, so you have a support group built in. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more in a residency, really.